Levis and a shot. But Ahola just absorbs that one. And that was close on the blue line, but then to a great shot. The Buckeyes get a good opportunity there.
Yeah, Bizzle did a great job at the blue line, as you mentioned, ZR, dancing around a defender and keeping the puck in the zone and setting up the one-timer from the circle.
Bizzle looking for Levis yet again. On that corner there, back to Rosenthal. Levis behind the net, looking for options, going coast to coast here. Newland giving her a tough time, so it goes back. Off to Bizzle, to Levis, looking for the backdoor opportunity, but Gardner wasn't there.
Tried that same play just before the face-up, but she put the pass right in Levis' skates.
Levis with another opportunity, backdoor chance, it's still loose. As it goes back to Gardner on the hash mark circle, looking for Levis, another chance. The dots don't connect as Jake's stepping up big there.
A little reminiscent of the way the Capitals use Alex Ovechkin right in that circle on the face-off dot for the one-timers.
So the power play is over for the Buckeyes, not able to convert. For those just joining us here on Big Ten Plus, Zachary Rodier alongside Keith Kakinda. A great game, the Buckeyes banner drop they had this afternoon. We'll show you that later up in the broadcast. The Buckeyes winning last night 5-2.
Good special team start for St. Cloud State as well. That was something they did very well last weekend against RPI, killing all 6 penalties that they faced, in addition to going 3 for 5 with the woman advantage.
So right now, Hadley Hartmutz holding it. And walking in now are the Buckeyes, and Sloan Matthews, the freshman from Minnesota, as she had 2 goals last night, her first 2 in her NCAA career.
And the first one was the game winner.
And a big hit right on the corner, right in front of the linesman and referee Ludwig. No call there, as Special trying to keep that in for the Buckeyes. But Scribner, the former Buckeye, playing 2 games early in her collegiate career for the Buckeyes. Chips that one in, she'll go for a change. Hartmutz now off to freshman Emma Peschel. Just did a little dangle through Burden's stick. Peschel stepping up now, looking for Levis. Levis off to Malte. Putting on pressure is Bulger for St. Cloud State. Levis looking for Malte. Malte with a shot, hitting the glove, the helmet, and Levis just missed that opportunity and a score! Peyton Levis off the rebound, gets the Buckeyes up 1-0.
Well, I'm not sure how much Ahola knew about that first shot that, as you said, either hit her in the shoulder or the helmet. But she couldn't track it down, and here comes take a look at the replay. This is after the first save Ahola made. Right off the backboard. Just tucking it in the short side as Ahola lost track of the puck. And Peyton Levis gets the power play, gets the even strength goal for the Buckeyes.
So right off the pads here, and it looks like Coach Adolski maybe thinking about a possible challenge as things are slowing down.
Might be looking at goaltender interference. There was an awful lot of traffic in front of the Finnish goaltender, Sonny Ahola.
I suspected that would be the case, as there was a lot of big things going on there. Everyone was crashing the net, so it's going to see if there was any conclusive evidence that something happened, and everyone knows when it comes to hockey, goaltender interference can always be controversial, as we see here.
Yeah, you see Kenzie Houseworth there in front, although she got knocked down, it looks like, by one of the defenders, Dale Ross, I believe. Or no, it was Klara Himlarova, the Chechen, who scored last night.
So it looks like, of course, St. Cloud State and Ohio State had players there, so it's going to be uncertain to see, especially from the angles that they have here at OSU Ice Rink, if there will be any evidence to show that Hosworth initiated the contact and it wasn't an SCSU defender that pushed her into Ahola.
That would be the big difference. If she gets pushed, she can't do anything about that. So Brian Idolski in his first season here at St. Cloud State had a chance to chat on Twitter with Kelly Jo Schultz, who does the play-by-play for Bemidji State women's hockey, and she told me she thinks he's going to be a very good fit for this St. Cloud State program.
And actually, it could be an offsides play that they're looking at as the linesmen are actually stepping in. So originally we thought it was going to be goaltender interference as Ifland, the linesman, one of them here this afternoon, is taking a look at that play. So we're going to take a quick break here on Big Ten Plus. Zachary Rodier and Keith Kakinda as this goal is under review. Welcome back, and it's a good goal as Peyton Levis will get the goal. So the Buckeyes going up 1-0 here in their banner drop. The reigning national champions, number one team in the nation, going up 1-0. A Peyton Levis goal. Her first goal of the season, and that's going to be unassisted. And it looked like originally they were talking about goaltender interference, but then the linesman steps in, so it looked like they decide to go with offside, but either way, this goal will count.
First time this season, the Buckeyes have scored the first goal of the game in the first period. They scored first last night, but that was in the second.
So right now, the goal's unassisted. That could change later on. Myers just twirled with it there, but stripped of the puck. Gardner takes it for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, the puck was stuck against her skate. She couldn't find it.
Now off to Taylor Lind, to Myers. Myers with the shot, and gloving that one is Amanda Thiele coming into this game after winning national championship with the Buckeyes last season with some great numbers last weekend, Keith.
Yeah, won both games. Has an .865 save percentage coming into tonight. And again, she had to be strong in the third periods of both those games against Minnesota State, as Ohio State had to come from behind to win those games against the Mavericks.
Millwater off to Green there. Rifling that one in was Westlaw. Zimmerman, Minnesota native, as right now Sloan Matthews, the 2-goal scorer, freshman, having it now off to Tegan Grant,
who made a very good defensive play on the back post, steering that puck away on the cross-ice pass.
And Burden just handed it off to one of her teammates there, but it goes back to the Buckeyes end, and Thiele will cover that one, slow things down. And the Buckeyes still up 1-0 here at OSU Ice Rink on Big Ten Plus. Zachary Rodier and Keith Kakinda here in Game 2 of this series. Buckeyes, St. Cloud State playing last season 6 times. Twice was here in Columbus during the quarterfinals where the Buckeyes swept St. Cloud State, not allowing a goal in that entire series.
Last time the Huskies won here in Columbus was February 2017. 14 straight losses overall by the Huskies to Ohio State.
Bizzle with a great opportunity after Malte had 2 great shots there. Point blank. She had the rebound as well. But Ahola bobbling that one there. As Peyton Levis, the goal scorer today, Malte with the shot just going wide. Kenzie Hosworth got the game winner for the reason that banner in the national champions is here tonight. She got that one, the 3-2 win over Minnesota Duluth and State College last year. We've seen yesterday a lot of physicality. Malte and Hosworth putting in a lot of that for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Jakes with an opportunity and a shot just going wide. It's coming now. Skyer for St. Cloud State. Going all the way, the icing will be called off. Some tip there as it's now back to Buglioni. Buglioni to Bizzle. Their dad and uncle playing for St. Cloud State hockey. And Scribner for SCSU, just rifles that one out of the zone. Here comes Himlarova. Himlarova with a shot going blocker. Thiele diving down and goes wide. Wouldn't have been able to get back if St. Cloud State could get a stick on that one. It slides now out of the zone as Wolf puts that one in.
Himlarova is going to be a key player for this Huskies team this year, the Chechia International, who made her national team debut as a 17-year-old at the IHF World Championships in 2016.
So SCSU and Ohio State tied shots-wise now for a piece.
Territorial-wise, the Buckeyes have it all in their favor. Way too much traffic in front of Ahola for her taste.
Lynn just put a check there on Peschel. No call right in front of the official. As Bizal, and now it's Spink walking in with a shot. That one just going wide. Peschel, who's been getting a lot of ice time as the freshman here from Medina, Minnesota. 5'10 freshman.
I'd look like I hit the skate of Devin Millwater and careened through the crease. Could have been dangerous.
Bregman now putting, look, a point-blank opportunity for Matthews. She was looking for goal 3. And an applause from the SCSU bench on the great shot block.
This game could easily be 3-0 right now. Ahola is really keeping them in it.
And Ahola with another great shot. Save there off of Brooke Bink. And, you know, you talk about JoJo Chobak being another great goaltender that SCSU has, Keith. But with the way Ahola played last night and how we're seeing her play this afternoon already, you can understand why Coach Adolski made that decision.
It certainly looks like the right one so far.
As Kenzie Hosworth did a twirl there. And Vogt for SCSU lost her stick. She picks it back up. This battle is in the right corner there. And Peschel just had a little bit of a shoulder check there into the head. Scribner was able to get back up as Malte now has it. Line change for the Buckeyes. Malte slips and falls as Scribner will be able to get a stick on that. Chip it out of the boards into the neutral zone. As Kenzie Hosworth will go back to her own zone.
It's been a big struggle for St. Cloud State trying to clear their zone. They were successful a couple of times early, but here over the last 10 minutes or so of game time, they have had a lot of trouble.
And right now for the Ohio State Buckeyes, a little bit of a line change today as McKenna Webster is in the lineup yet to take the ice. The two-sport athlete transferring from Wisconsin.
Well, she's getting her first shift right now, and she's on the forecheck.
There's Webster. Just as I was saying, she wasn't on the ice, just taking it right on that opportunity. And Webster, two-sport athlete playing field hockey. Originally when we spoke to Coach Nadine Muzzero last week, she said Webster would not play until the field hockey season is over. That has changed this afternoon.
She's a native St. Louis, and so she scores where they play Gloria.
It's Rosenthal with a great chance there. Just going wide. As Madison Bizzle trying to put pressure. It almost hit the linesman there.
Yeah, he got in the way as Lynn was trying to get that puck into the zone.
Jakes and Sophie Lundeen, one of the freshmen here for the Buckeyes, tried to get that one, but it trickled back into the Buckeyes' defensive zone as Newland gets defended there by Brooke Bink. Goes right out of the zone, and here comes Lundeen. Lundeen waits for her reinforcements. Off to Matthews with a shot, and it's blocked. But another rebound chance, and Myers was able to get the skate on that one. Back to Bernard with an opportunity, and a great save.
Yeah, Myers blocked the initial shot as well. Good job of closing down the angle and getting a skate in the way. But there you see Ahola, who's been very, very busy, not just with saves, but with a lot of traffic in her way. And somebody showed up wearing an NHL Cleveland Barons sweater. How very nice to see that, especially with the state of Ohio on the sleeves with the numbers, something the Blue Jackets ought to do on their jerseys.
Bernard is looking for Levis there, but gets intercepted by SCSU. Scribner tried to get it out, but great play and heads up one by Hosworth, and Malte continues to keep it in. She'll dance with it, the captain for the Ohio State Buckeyes, off to Levis. She's wearing the A on her jersey for the second season. It's Hartmutz to the hash marks now. Back to Hosworth.
One thing I'm noticing for Ohio State is the players on defense are really putting a lot of pressure on the St. Cloud State forwards when they do get possession, forcing them to retreat and keeping pucks deep into the St. Cloud State zone.
Peyton Levis and Vogt had a stick on there for SCSU, but the Buckeyes were able to keep it in, but both teams will go for line change. Scribner still on the ice here for SCSU. She'll finally chip that one and go for a change. Buglioni now off to Gardner.
Shots now 11-4 in favor of the Buckeyes.
Gardner trying to get to Peschel there. It's intercepted and went to Burton.
Bailey Burton with an excellent back check there.
It's this line now. The Gardner, Buglioni, and Rosenthal line didn't play with each other as Burton gets a shot there. Thiele swallows it. But as I was saying, Keith, Gardner, Rosenthal, and Buglioni, they were a great line for the Buckeyes last season. Didn't play together against Minnesota State. They're reunited this weekend. Coach Muzzarell said post-game yesterday that this is something in a line they can always rely on. And after last weekend, they want to go back to this look.
Yeah, that's what a coach looks like in a second line, and that's what they're playing. Dependability as well as being able to carry out the back check in addition to creating scoring opportunities at the other end. And that reliability, that's definitely a good word to describe that line.
And Myers just almost had a chance there as Ohio State missed on the puck. SCSU couldn't capitalize on that opportunity. And here comes Ohio State the other way. It's Brooke Bink. Almost a 2-on-1. But Westlaw will now drill her into the boards as Myers gets a stick on that one. And it goes back to Tegan Grant. Looking for Moreau, but it goes off to Bink, closer to the Buckeyes logo. And Gentry and Thiele stepping way out of her net to get a stick on that one. And the puck will go all the way back. And Geyer will step back, try and chip that one off the glass. And SCSU gets it out of the zone. Ohio State puts it back. And now it goes off to Dale Ross. Ross was all over the ice last night. Looking for another good game tonight.
Ross, one of those rushing defensemen who's leading the attack here.
Ross with an opportunity, just going wide. As Gentry off to Geyer. Now off to Rosenthal. Rosenthal right in front of her bench, waiting for it. Off to Bizal. Rosenthal now at the Buckeyes logo, looking for reinforcements. Walks in, using her body on the backside now. That's Ross. The Bink and a big shot block by Himlarova. Puck is still loose right in front of that house area. And Geyer can't get a pass. Sophie Jakes running top three. Patty Kazmaier finalist. Just missing the stick up Buglioni there. The Scribner now chips it up high onto the other side. SCSU will change lines.
Yeah, Himlarova made the block, and she knew she made the block, but she couldn't find where the puck was and was desperately trying to roll over so she wouldn't get called for a penalty.
So now it's Sophie Jakes to Buglioni to Gardner. Slides off her stick. Rosenthal will chip that one into the zone, and the Buckeyes will make a line change. Off to Myers. Goes off to Taylor Lynn. Thiele just slow that one down a little bit off to Brooke Bink.
Had a chance to talk to Taylor Lynn before the game. She says the team really looks forward to a challenge like this, playing the top team in the country in Ohio State.
Just around 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in that first period. The Buckeyes up 1-0 off the Peyton Levis goal. Buckeyes banner drop this afternoon. Some of their former players, graduate students that came back for their rings today. Emily Curlett, Liz Sheppers, Lexi Templeman. Gentry tried to get a shot off there, but Lundeen had a great stick for the Buckeyes.
She did a good job pickpocketing the defense and then tried to get an opportunity, but 1v2, that's a bit of an ask.
Bernard with a shot, going through some traffic as Malte, unable to get it through. Wolf just put that one in to the Buckeyes zone, and it goes off for an icing. As we get a look here at the National Championship banner, the Buckeyes winning the Frozen Four. As that banner dropped earlier, before the game, right after warm-ups, you always have to wonder that's going to slow the home team down. But a crowd here fully packed, getting some mock banners of their own, and a beautiful banner drop right in front of the Buckeyes bench, reminding them that great tournament they had last year.
You know, over 4 minutes since the Buckeyes got that last shot on goal, but they've had a lot of shots blocked in front of Sani Ahola.
Now it's off to Emma Peschel. Peschel still looking for her first point of her collegiate career. Levis just not getting a full power on that shot, so it doesn't go into the zone fully, as Wolf will chip that one off to Burden. Burden slowly walking into the zone, looking for Green there. Green now putting on speed. Burden slides it back to Wolf. Wolf stepping up, looking for the redirection from Green there. It doesn't go.
St. Cloud State liking to make a lot of cross-ice passes. The Ohio State defenders doing a good job covering those players, making those runs to the back post, if I could use a soccer analogy there.
Wolf will now. He's pucking this off to Rosenthal to Myers.
Looks like St. Cloud State tried to clog up the neutral zone a little bit more to keep the Buckeyes from getting out of their own zone so easily.
And the fourth line now here for the Buckeyes. Rosenthal stepping in as the center here as Webster and Parent come in. You can see Webster just trying to get the wheels going a little bit. Puck's right in front. Webster gets a stick on that one and trying to put the wheels on now. She played a field hockey game yesterday afternoon. It's been a big help for them field hockey-wise this season, helping Buckeyes field hockey team get off to a great start. Well, that one's just going wide, and Keith, the balance of being a two-sport athlete, both during the same seasons and balancing school and being at a new team this year, it's a big ask for a player, and seeing her play in the second home game for the Buckeyes, something a lot of people didn't expect, but a great showing here for her.
Well, I think the big thing you bring up there is two things. One, a new school, all those adjustments that have to be made, but also playing two sports in the same season. It used to be it was a time players would play 2-3 different sports, but in different seasons. But to play both at once, that's pretty remarkable.
Webster didn't travel with the team last week to Mankato, Minnesota. It's Brink now walking in. Dale Ross off to Scribner. Scribner and Ross seem that been on the ice all afternoon and evening, but it's going to be a high sticking call for the official, so it's going to go out of the zone. Ohio State will have to reset.
St. Cloud slowly starting to grow into this game a little bit. They're getting more time in the other half of the ring, getting a few more shots on goal now. They're now up to 8 compared to 11 for Ohio State. So Brian Adolski has to be happy with weathering the storm of the first 5 to 10 minutes of this period.
Adolski is the head coach for the women's hockey team in North Dakota for 10 seasons, then went off to China, coach for a team in the ZHL, and now was a coach for the Chinese national team in the Olympics last season. A big shot there by Sophie Jakes.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of that came about by the fact that the UND program was closed down.
So Ohio State still trying to put some pressure on here. It goes off now to Geyer. St. Cloud State able to get that one out of the zone. Levis will reset. Try and get it to Malte there. Just unable to get it out of her reach. It's going to go whistle down for an icing.
Be a good opportunity for the Huskies to get some time, at least at Ohio State. It's half of the rink, if not in their outside defensive zone.
And it's not going to be an icing, as that was changed to be a center ice face-off draw here. Rosenthal will take it against Yanina Newland. Garner and Gentry are pushing and shoving each other there right in front of us.
Newland one of 2 Finns on the St. Cloud team, along with the goaltender, Sani Ahola.
So the Buckeyes now in their offensive zone with a chance by Rosenthal, slipping off first stick. Back to Hartmutz. Hartmutz rifling that one down deep. And right in front of the goal, similar to the last one, and it's a score! As the goal light goes off, but the official doesn't give the signal, so the goal judge called it a goal.
And the goal judge turned the light on and quickly turned it back off, so this one may have to go to review as well.
And it looks like that's going to be the case. As Ludwig, we're going to get a quick look at it behind the goal to see if this one did cross the goal line.
And remember, it has to completely cross the line.
And it did.
It looks like it did. Can't zoom in on it, obviously, but great view from our camera down at that end, but it certainly looked to me like it completely crossed the line as a whole skate came off the post.
And you see a little bit of white ice there, so it does look like that did cross the line. And it was an interesting, the goal judge definitely saw that one. The official didn't see it, so they didn't give the signal there, Keith. But right now, we're going to see what happens. Again, the ruling on the ice was no goal from the official. The goal judge said yes, so they're going to have conclusive evidence that the puck did fully cross the goal line. Yeah, so again, the call on the ice is no goal.
Yeah, the goal judge did have a very good view. I'm not sure if any of the officials were below the goal line. I don't know if we'll get a chance to see that again. But if they were above the goal line, it would have been very hard for them to see whether or not it did cross the line. Let's take another look at it here.
It's going to be an interesting call as both officials getting a look at that one, and it looks like they've seen enough, and we're going to get a call, and it's a good goal. So the puck did fully cross the line as we get another look at the replay here.
And again, we don't see any officials below the goal line, so it would have been very hard for them to see this, and there it goes right there just over actually the referee on this side coming into the screen there in your bottom right corner was below the goal line, but it would have been very hard for him to see the puck crossing the line with a holeless pad in the way.
So there was conclusive evidence, and we have a good goal. The Buckeyes are up 2-0, unable to see who got that score because of how much chaos there was there. We're going to hear in a second.
Again, Ohio State dialing up the pressures. We saw them do in the first half of this period. They started to forecheck a little bit more aggressively to get in on that, create that chance and get the goal. And the goal is going to Jennifer Gardner.
It is Jennifer Gardner's goal. Originally they said Buglioni, but Gardner will get the goal. Assist will be seen in a little bit as Amanda Thiele loving that one.
Score sheet says it's unassisted, so 2 unassisted goals for Ohio State tonight.
Usually sometimes they say it's unassisted, and then, of course, they work back to see if any other player was able to get a stick on that one later on. But Himlarova will take the faceoff here, assistant captain for CSU from Opava, Czech Republic, having herself start to the season here. 2 goals, 1 assist with 3 points. Buckeyes win the draw. 38 seconds left. Buglioni looking for Gardner, but Buglioni will just put that one into the zone. Ross now for SCSU holding it. 30 seconds left now. It's off to Bernard.
Gardner now shares the team goal scoring lead with Gabby Rosenthal.
In 4 games here, 3 goals apiece for both Rosenthal and and Gardner. Both teams still putting on great pressure here. Shots much closer, 13-9, than they were in the first period last game yesterday. That's just 5 seconds and ticking now. Off to Dale Ross. Ohio State gets it. Buglioni puts that one in, but that's going to do it for our first period action here at OSU Ice Rink as the reigning national champions and the #1 team in the nation, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Beyond the circles, and that's what caused a lot of problems for the St. Cloud State defense.
As they are now re-announcing those goals. As play is underway here at OSU Ice Rink here on Big Ten Plus and our great crew, Zachary Roder and Keith Kakinda. The Buckeyes banner drop game today with a great chance to Buglione backdoor. As Jakes now having it. As Cornelius moves the puck to Jakes. Jakes known for her active defense here, stepping up in the offensive zone. One of the reasons she had so many points last season, 59. And
we saw that a lot in the first half of the first period, especially one of the defensemen pinching up and getting that forecheck increase from 3 to 4 players.
And for Jakes, looking to get the Patty Kazmaier this season after being a top 3 finalist. And Ohio State knows something about that, as Emma Malte, coming back to the Buckeyes this season, was a top 3 finalist twice before going to centralize with Hockey Canada. That puck is Malte now, fighting with Wolf, and that goes into the neutral zone. Here comes Bolger and Millwater trying to put some pressure there, but Ohio State able to get a stick on that one. Goes back. DeVote. Malte now trying to come into the offensive zone, walking in. She has numbers with Matthews to Hartwitz, but it comes the other way. Trickles out. It's Bernard.
But again, Ohio State showing they're just like a half stride to a stride faster and quicker than St. Cloud State, and that's why they're able to make that transition from defense to offense so quickly.
So that one just going behind the goal there. 18 minutes left in the second period. The Buckeyes up 2-0. Goes off to Sophie Lundin there. Playing for Team Sweden in the Olympics and now coming as a freshman. Not the usual freshman age, though, Keith.
Yes,
but a lot of different.
22. Think she'd like to score on the Finnish goaltender, Ahola?
As Lind with an opportunity, joining the 50-point club last night with an assist. And going hard into the boards there was Gentry.
Taylor Lind from Shaunavon, Saskatchewan, the hometown of Canadian hockey legend Haley Wickenheiser, for whom they named the rink in Shaunavon earlier this year.
Bink lost her glove there and continued to play, able to pick it up now as she rushes back to the bench. And now it's going to go to Westlaw. Lynn trying to push through, and there's going to be a penalty.
I think some of the Ohio State fans think she might have drawn that one with a little bit of an acting job. But either way, this is exactly what St. Cloud State need, down 2-0 power play. And again, they were 3 for 5 with the woman advantage last week against SRPI.
And so it's going to be an interference penalty here as we get a look at Coach Nadine Muzzerall for Ohio State. As right now, Coach Muzzerall getting the WCHO Coach of the Year last season with her great team.
First
she
woman
is 130,
to
63, and 17. The first coach to win the national championship as a coach and a player, as St. Cloud State here on the power play. They didn't score on the power play yesterday, but a chance and a score! Emma Gentry, the Michigan native, scores against Ohio State and gets the power play goal quickly with just 13 seconds into the power play.
And her family down below is quite happy, but Gentry, great work in the slot to pick up that rebound that was given up by Thiele and slide it under the pad. Let's take another look at it.
And we see
Gentry
here
is number 20 right there in the top of the slot. Thiele gets a good look at this shot coming off her and right over the pad. Gentry with a great finish to cut the Ohio State lead in half.
So just slid off the pads. The rebound is Gentry with a great shot as here comes Gardner looking to respond for the Buckeyes. Gardner with a chance. Buglione with the rebound, but it's Ahola who stifles that one into her pads. And it is still 2-1. St. Cloud State getting the goal there. That is Emma Gentry with Grace Wolf and Clara Himlarova getting the assist. Gentry's third goal of the season.
Himlarova now has 4 points, but a rare shot from in between the circles for the Huskies results in a power play goal.
SCSU wins the faceoff there in their defensive zone. A big draw for them. As we could see Jen Gardner right before that faceoff was looking to get a response here for the Buckeyes after that goal. It's a big game here for the Buckeyes. Want to win in front of their fans off the banner raising and drop here today as Teely just gets the shaft of her stick there on that puck. So
Himlarova now with a goal and an assist this weekend.
It's now Bulger who got some tape on that one, fired it out. Bounces right back into St. Cloud State's zone. But here comes McKenna Webster, the two-sport athlete, looking for a chance to Sloan Matthews, and a score! Sloan Matthews gets her third collegiate goal, her third of the weekend, and McKenna Webster gets her first point as a Buckeye.
What a read direct from Sloan Matthews. If indeed she did touch it, we'll take another look to see if she did.
As we see, Webster has the original shot, and it was a great chance there.
Yes,
and it
she
does
did
look
get
like
the touch. Great touch by Sloan Matthews.
Matthews gets the redirection, and with McKenna Webster getting that assist, her first point as a Buckeye since transferring, and getting points in field hockey and ice hockey in just a week or so is really impressive. And 6 of her teammates or more are here for field hockey this afternoon supporting her. Ohio State women's ice hockey, they went to a field hockey game to support Webster earlier in the season. So the field hockey team for the Buckeyes returning the favor this afternoon. And
that is a pretty unique.
And we have some pushing and shoving and possible punches thrown there.
That's
right
a pretty
after the
unique
crash
double.
net.
That's a pretty unique double for Webster to get points of both field hockey and ice hockey in the same season. But I think there's going to be a few penalties handed out after that scrap after the whistle. But Taylor Lynn being a good captain, protecting her goaltender.
And no penalties here.
Nope.
Just the officials telling them to go to the bench. We're going to get a quick look here. Just some pushing and shoving onto Malte, and then Ahola was able to get a little bit of a blocker there. So Ahola, first time her stepping up physicality-wise, stepping up for herself. She gets whistled down for a hand pass in the neutral zone.
Yeah, it was Malte who got in there looking for a loose puck after Ahola covered, and then Reagan Bulger, the defensewoman, said, no, not in my house.
So 3-1 now. It's a Sloan Matthews goal from McKenna Webster, her first point as an Ohio State Buckeye on the ice hockey team. Two-sport athlete, again, wasn't supposed to play until November. The field hockey season was over. Something changed over the past day or so as she is here for the Buckeyes on their ice hockey team after playing a field hockey game.
And for Sloan Matthews, 3 goals in her first 4 games.
And for the Plymouth, Minnesota native, that is something that Coach Nadine Muzzerall has to be excited for. Coach Muzzerall said yesterday that the play from Sloan Matthews, Lundin, and a lot of the other freshmen elevates everyone on the team, gets them a little bit more competitive, because right now Matthews 3 goals in just this weekend is something to see, with a chance from Gardner looking for backdoor in her 100th game. Rosenthal between the legs opportunity, and some more pushing and shoving, some physicality again. The helmet's off for Rosenthal. She's still going at it there. And Ahola again, Keith, getting some physicality and some really stepping up for herself there, with possibly some frustration. And now there's going to be some possible penalties.
Yeah, let's take a look. Good work by St. Cloud State. Again, have to protect your goaltender no matter what. You see right there, Rosenthal gets the cross check courtesy of McKenna Westlow, and then everything breaks loose. Himlarova in there as well. Himlarova is a center, but she's a good defensive back checker on that second line. She was in the middle of that as well.
So it's getting chippy here as like Millwater went to the box, so did Buglioni, and she just got a tap on her back from Reagan Kirk. And the officials are going to say what the calls are here. It looks like it'll be roughing for both sides, but Millwater definitely got that cross check, and both coaches are going to get some explanations here. But the
Yeah,
physicality
Westlaw-
really turning up here, Keith. It's going to be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes.
Yeah, that was Millwater, now Westlaw a sub 43 instead of 23, but the native of Victoria, BC, with a clear cross-check there. As you said, coincidental minors for roughing for both Millwater and Buglioni.
And it looks like maybe Coach Muzzerall wanted more there
Yeah,
instead
I think
of
you're
a
right.
possible power play.
I think she wanted the extra minor called for any of the St. Cloud players who jumped in there at the end of that play after the cross-check.
So it's 4-on-4, which opens a lot of ice here as Buglioni's going to look from his trainer in the penalty box.
And this could work to St. Cloud State's advantage. They play on a 200 by 100-foot sheet up at the Herb Brooks Center that they play on, so this is something they're a little more used to.
Here comes Webster with Matthews yet again. Those two connected on the third goal, so Coach Muzzerall decided to put them back out there together on that 4-on-4, so it's Matthews and Webster right now. She's got a lot of ice time from that fourth line compared to Ramsey Parent, who's also on that fourth line, but Parent's got some good looks as well. But Webster getting that first point in her first game definitely will get her some more ice time here on the 4-on-4. Newland walking in for SCSU now. 2 penalties at the same time for roughing after a scrum in front of Ahola. So it's 4-on-4 for around a minute, 4 and ticking. Here in this second period, 3-1, reigning national champions, Ohio State Buckeyes, over St. Cloud State here at OSU Ice Rink. Gentry walking into the zone, tries to do a little toe drag there, and it doesn't work as Malte trying to get out of the zone. Scribner still holds it, and Levis with a great defensive strong stick, but Scribner yet again, shot going just wide and high.
Scribner
Here
with a
comes
couple
Levis.
good pieces of pickpocket work there.
Levis slips and falls. Maybe Wolf got her stick there right in front of the official Ludwig, but backdoor point blank chance for Levis doesn't go, and Ahola slides out, covers it, and
Ahola read that well. She saw that pass coming out of the corner, immediately got out to the top of her crease to make the save. We'll look at it again, but watch Ahola come out for a line to close this down.
more
There we go again.
physicality. And a lot of pushing and shoving and some things being thrown here as we can just see the tempers continue to rise in this game. Just one of the third chances here that we've seen this.
And Himlarova went down, and she looks like she's in some pain as she goes to the bench. She looks like she took a shot right in front as soon as Teely made the save.
The officials
We'll get
are
another
also
look. Yeah, we'll get another look at it here. Watch Himlarova coming in from the left, and she'll get whacked by, it looks like it was Riley Bregman who hit her.
still
But no penalty given with 8 seconds left on this 4-on-4.
So no call there. She'll go back to the bench, and Rosenthal winning that faceoff yet again for the Buckeyes. It hits one of the players of SCSU, and the bench will get whistled down.
And it's a good thing because otherwise that was ticketed for Brian Adolski, who's not wearing any pads.
And Adolski's pointing. I think the faceoff's going to be in the defensive zone for Ohio State and the offensive zone for SCSU, and they'll get that. So another draw here. 4-on-4 action for just 5 more seconds here in the second period on Big Ten Plus. Zachary Rodier, Keith Kakinda, and our great Big Ten Plus crew. Peschel off to Bregman. And it's back to full strength. 5-on-5 for both teams. Jen Gardner looking for Buglioni, who would have been all alone, but it is intercepted by SCSU.
Dale Ross back checking, did a great job knowing that Buglioni was coming out of the penalty box and covered up well.
Ahola got a stick on that one. Westlaw off to Newland. It's back now to Hartmut off of stick of Sophie Lundeen. Got her first goal as a Buckeye in her second game in Minnesota State last week. As right now, play continuing here in the near corner. Off to Matthews, shot, And she was looking for her fourth, feeling like she is on a streak this weekend with a point-blank shot right at the hash marks there. But Ahola gloves that one down, and it is still 3-1.
Yeah, Matthews is looking low, go low to the glove side. We'll get a great view of it here. Great pass out of the corner. Ahola right there now with 21 saves for the Finn.
Levis got a shot there. Goes up high. Looked like it hit the netting, but play continued. So that is something to keep in mind in case something happens here in this offensive zone for Ohio State. Hosworth with it behind the net now. Is trying to put pressure there is Green.
And once again, Ohio State with the aggressive forecheck, keeping St. Cloud State pinned in their own zone. We saw a lot of that in the first 10 minutes of the first period.
Levis had a point-blank shot right in front of Ahola, all alone. SCSU didn't find her there, but Ahola quickly was able to get to it, make a great, beautiful save.
Ohio State continuing that trend we talked about for the first period, getting all their shots below the face-off circles.
That one gets waved off for an icing as players for both teams got a stick on that one. Back, and a shot and a score! Moreau, Sydney Moreau gets her first goal as a Buckeye, and the Buckeyes go up 4-1.
Well, just as I talk about shots coming from below the face-off circle, they get one from outside. I'm wondering if Kenzie Hausworth at least caught Ahola unsighted. If not, getting a touch. We'll take a look. Yeah, I'm not sure Ahola saw that one. No, it waved off.
Gets waved off. And it looks like that's going to be a play under review. Not sure.
Yes, it is.
And Lundin. So, interesting look here as Webster will also race off. So the Lundin line will come in. Matthews and Bink. Bink looking for Matthews, and it goes back to Bregman, just slipping off her stick. The puck bouncing there, so it goes out into neutral zone. Bregman will have to put that one back into the zone. Matthews now able to keep it in as it was Westlaw who tried to get it out. So now a fight on the near boards here in front of us as Malte tried to get in between the legs to Peschel. Now trying to push that one closer to the house area. Right in front of the blue paint, but it doesn't go. And here comes Scribner the other way for SSU. Scribner with a shot just going wide onto the right side.
Morrow's the fourth,
off to Bink.
Sydney Morrow's the fourth Buckeye this season to get her first career goal, and we've only played 4 games.
So another communication there. It goes off the stick of Bernard, but here come the Buckeyes looking for Malte. Malte to Levis, and just another great chance. But Ahola just putting on that one, and there's Malte just talking to Levis there. Coach Muzzarell said last night she wants Malte to shoot the puck a little bit more, but instead she passes it to Levis for another grade A chance.
Yeah, great chance. Maybe a little too unselfish, but Levis, the first touch let her down as she got past Ross, the defenseman. Otherwise, she could have had a great scoring opportunity, but that first touch a little too heavy, and Ahola was able to cover it up.
So it's Rosenthal who has it now. Off to Buglioni. Rosenthal on the near corner to the far side with a shot to Ahola right in the SCSU Husky logo.
And again, another close-in chance for the Buckeyes. They've had a ton of those so far today.
They've done a great job getting in right in front of that blue paint. Hartmutz shoots it in. Buckeyes tag up. They'll come back into the zone. So it's going to be SCSU.
We got 3 players for Ohio State below the face-off circle.
And Buglioni puts that one up to Geyer. Geyer and Buglioni pushing and shoving just a little bit there as Gardner then goes in off to Dale Ross. Ross to Burden, and Burden gets it out of the zone. Hartmutz puts it back in for the Buckeyes, and it continues to flip up here in the neutral zone. Puck is bouncing. Maybe they'll change the puck after this whistle. So it continues to bounce here. Goes into the Buckeyes defensive zone. And it'll be Myers for SCSU trying to fight for it behind Amanda Thiele. She's had 12 shots to face with 11 saves in this game compared to Ohio State's 26 shots. So Ohio State now looking for it. And it is Hosworth. Hosworth.
Thiele's only to make 2 saves in this period. Indicative of how the ice is tilted tonight.
It's back to Levis. Levis does a little twirl with it there, looking for Malte. Malte waits. Back to Levis off the boards. And it's Westlaw backhanding that one to Myers. But Malte still having an opportunity. Gets clipped there, and she's down right into the head. And Malte is still down.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Taylor Lind inadvertently hit her with an elbow in the head. Looks like she's going to get the gate, and she does. As the physio comes out to tend to Emma Malte.
As right now, hard scene to see here at OSU Ice Rink as Malte, the captain for Ohio State, is down after Taylor Lind.
Malte, graduate student, as you mentioned, with Team Canada, native of Burlington, Ontario. That's a good sign she's able to get up.
And a good sign that she continues to not head to the locker room and just go back on the bench. Play is now under review if it's going to be a major penalty. A little bit of a difference here this year with NCAA rule changes. So not necessarily they can assign a major penalty, not with an ejection. They can also do it, they can get rid of the major penalty in total with no minor or anything like that. They made a lot of different rule changes when it comes to major penalties this past offseason. So both teams are going to take an opportunity here to pause things, slow things down, see what the plays as we get a look here from both squads as Malte just going down.
Yeah, it's a little like in football when a yellow card can be reviewed to see if it maybe is a red card, but in this case, it's just going to stay as a minor penalty against Taylor Lind.
So a 2-minute power play now for the Buckeyes. Taylor Lind getting that one, and Malte is getting tended to by the trainers. And some boos raining here. So right now, the Buckeyes are going to go to the power play without Emma Malte. Gabby Rosenthal is going to take the face-off and continue to get updates if we get any. Spizzall.
Buckeyes 1 for 2 on the
power
play.
One off to Levis, and a point-blank chance. And it goes all the way back, so Thiele will have to tap that one and give it off to Bizzall. And the Buckeyes on the power play here. Got one power play goal last night, none this afternoon.
I think Dale Ross got a shin pad on that shot and kept it from getting through to Sane Ahola.
Ahola with 22 saves this afternoon. Rosenthal trying to fight for it with Geyer. And it's now off to Dale Ross. Buckeyes on this power play off a Taylor Lind penalty, which left Emma Malte dirt on the ice. Back to Jakes. A shot goes through some bodies. Rebound opportunity placed to loose. And chaos continues to reign as the officials come in and separate things. And some more physicality from both squads. We saw it last night, and tonight especially this afternoon. A lot of different things going on as we're going to get a quick look here, Keith.
Taylor Geyer blocks the initial shot right there, number 16 off her right skate. And the scramble, Ahola does make a save on the second opportunity. And then it looked like one of the Ohio State players got grabbed in front. Gabby Rosenthal was pulled down.
Jakes in a shot and a score! Sophie Jakes, her second power play goal in 2 games. And the Buckeyes go up 5-1.
Second power play goal of the day for Ohio State. And the second goal of the season for the native of Toronto.
Sophie Jakes, the reigning top 3 Patty Kazmaier finalist. We can just see the big shot she has there. She waits with it and wrists it in past Ahola.
And again, I don't think Ahola got caught on sight of Devin Millwater act as a screen. It went both through her skates and through Ahola's 5-hole.
So the Buckeye fans getting excited here, 5-1. And the Buckeyes power play continuing to get going this weekend. And it's Sophie Jakes, just like last season, that really helps the power play. Her first 2 goals of the season are power play goals.
And I mentioned the pregame, the power play was so important to Ohio State winning the national championship last year. And after they went scoreless on the power play against Minnesota State, it has to make Nadine Muzzerall happy to see the power play finally coming through this weekend against a good Scott State team.
And it helps a bench for the Buckeyes, that injury from Emma Malte that got her off to the bench with the trainer. As right now play continues at Sloan Matthews, 3 goals in these 2 games this weekend. She goes off to the bench. It's Rosenthal back on the ice here for the Buckeyes, and here comes Burden. Burden protecting that puck, and it just goes on to the far corner. There's Burden still waiting for it. And back now with 3 minutes and 10 ticking here in this second period here on Big Ten Plus. WCHA Hockey in the Buckeyes banner drop game from their home fans, their second game in this home opening weekend.
And they even gave away miniature replicas of those banners to the first 500 fans who came in.
That puck going wide. And a great crowd here for the Buckeyes last night and this afternoon. The band here as well.
I don't see too many open silver spaces in the stands here.
It's continuing for OSU Ice Rink. Some teams saying it's one of the most difficult places to play because of the locker room that Minnesota State players called the dungeon, because it's underground in the basement. And the Buckeyes only not losing a lot of games last season here.
Yeah, it's across the breezeway over in St. John Arena, the locker rooms, and I didn't realize that the visiting locker room was actually downstairs.
So Amanda Thiele now getting a stick on that one. And a big play there on Emma Malte. She is back on the ice for the Buckeyes. It's a great sight to see, and Malte comes into the blue line with a shot going right side. And a big play there for Emma Malte, using her speed, and it's good to see her back on the ice after she went down hard. And it's going to go all the way back down for Nicing as Jakes tacks up.
Amanda Thiele has not been very busy in this second period. Not always good for a goaltender's psyche, but for the team likes it when their goaltender is bored, and Thiele has not had much to do here in this second period.
Can be definitely difficult for a goaltender, though, if they're not getting a lot of action.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it can.
Kenzie Hosworth going to take the face-off here.
The mental aspect of goaltending is so important because she cannot initiate the action like skaters can do. Read Ken Dryden's book, The Game. You'll read all about what it's like.
Scribner going straight into the linesman Tyler Ifled, and it looks like he was in some pain. And it goes the other way. Ahoha plays the puck out of her net.
And I deliberately mentioned Ken Dryden because Team Canada just the last few weeks celebrating the 50th anniversary of the historic Summit Series, the eventual win over the Soviet Union on the goal by Paul Anderson. Any Canadian of a certain age remembers where he or she was when that happened. A lot of great specials. The CBC running a documentary series on that. I'm hoping they'll get a chance to show it here in the United States.
So Bizzall getting that one off the Buckeye straw to Jakes. Jakes looking to Gardner. Gardner, a shot hitting the noggin of Ahola.
Either in the head or the shoulder, but either way, a great chance there for Jen Gardner as the puck was bobbled on her at first, so she's able to set it down and still get the shot away.
So less than a minute left in second period action at OSU Ice Rink. Number 1 team in the nation, Jen Gardner looking for Buglioni there, which would have been her first goal of the season.
Grace Wolf there defensively, the native of Ottawa, Minnesota, sophomore, still looking for her first goal.
And the assists come in for Jake's power play goal. It's Madison Bizzall and Peyton Levis. 25 seconds and ticking now as Lundin having it on the near side corner. Off to Matthews. Matthews looking, and a shot, and it just going right off of a Hola. And back to Matthews, looking for Hartmouth. She steps up. Brooke Bink. 6 seconds now to Bregman. A shot, just getting broken up there by Volker. So that's going to do it for a busy goal-scoring spree for the Buckeyes in the second period, as Ohio State, the #1 team in the nation, the reigning national champions, up 5-1.
for the Buckeyes today. And only one Buckeye, Peyton Levis, has multiple points. She has a goal and 2 assists. She's assisted on the last 2 goals for Ohio State. So they're spreading the wealth around. A lot of people contributing, and that's a big factor for a championship team, especially as you talked about with wanting those freshmen to step up and deliver and add something to a championship team.
They're just re-announcing the 4th goal from Sydney Moreau. It's going to be Kenzie Hasworth and Peyton Levis getting the assist on that one. Those just coming in over the intermission here. The Buckeyes still looking for more here, and for St. Cloud State looking to get back into this game and finish off this weekend on a good note. Shots 30-12 for the Buckeyes off their banner drop day in front of a great crowd here at OSU Ice Rink.
I wonder if Brian Idalski is telling his team, let's keep this thing at 5 right now. Let's play a little safe. Make sure we don't get caught up in odd number rushes. Try to control the neutral zone, something they were able to do in the middle stages of the first period, but haven't been able to do since.
And so right now, for the Buckeyes, Malte coming in and just rifles that one and scoops it up. Looking for her first goal of the season. Malte. Backhand pass that one to Hosworth. Off to Levis. And SCSU coming back the other way. It's Himlarova. As Vogt just puts that one in. It's going to go off for an icing. The Buckeyes will go back to the offensive zone. And SCSU will be unable to change.
You mentioned Svenja Vogt, the German from Cologne.
And it does look like SCSU made a goaltending change here.
Yep.
As JoJo Chobak is coming in for SCSU. The Chicago, Illinois native, junior 5'8", having a 100% save percentage here, not allowing a goal in her first game against RPI last week. And she was a transfer here for SCSU after having a great season for Minnesota Duluth. And that was, of course, for JoJo Chobak wanting some more ice time here and a change of scenery for her.
Their 22nd career appearance at UMD, making 20 appearances there, a 1.77 career goals against. And as you said, she got the shutout against RPI last weekend in the game she played in.
So for Chobak being here, seeing the banner being raised for the Buckeyes, as her team in Minnesota Duluth last season was in that national championship game against their WCHA opponent. As Newland has it now in the neutral zone, getting off to Myers, but Peschel will be able to get some tape on that one and just fire that one up high all the way down. But it's going to be Webster, the Wisconsin transfer junior, who got a point in her first Buckeye game this afternoon. Gets a stick on that one, and Gentry just put Parent down onto the ice, and Parent comes back up. Hosworth centering this fourth line right now. Hosworth skating from coast to coast and loses the puck there, and that goes off. Comes the other way into the neutral zone, back to Webster, and Parent will fire that one, then go off for a change, and the puck goes off to Gentry.
Lauren Bernard there getting some ice time. Defender from Madison, Ohio. Had a chance to speak briefly with her grandmother before the game today.
Rosenthal's going to touch that one. It's going to be an offside right in front of the Buckeye bench. It's at 16:34 left in regulation. The Buckeyes are up 5-1 here on Big Ten Plus.
Yeah, Ohio State slowing things down a little bit, certainly not playing with the energy they played in the first two periods, knowing that they have this game under control right now.
Of course, it is the WCHA, so anything can happen here in college hockey. As Gardner trying to put pressure there for the Buckeyes. And this line here. As the play continues. The official's not calling that one as the puck's loose. Moreau has it. Was looking for her second goal. It bounces off the boards. Comes back. Moreau getting her first collegiate goal in the second period. Great shot from her. She goes from left to right. fires that one, but it hits Malte. Malte has it now, shoots it, and it hits the glove of Chobak. And Chobak getting her first few touches of the game. Burden firing that one just a little wide. It goes behind the net. So Moreau and a few Buckeyes there colliding to get that puck. Goes off to Malte. Malte playing with Rosenthal now, and Rosenthal will go for a change as Malte's line comes on. Malte gets tripped up by Gentry, no call. As it goes back into the neutral zone as Hosworth slides it off to Bizzle to Jakes. Back to Bizzle now. And it hits off the skate of Green, so it'll growl all the way back to the Buckeyes' defensive zone behind Thiele.
Ohio State a little more willing to play the puck back to their defense, spread things out a little bit, make St. Cloud State chase.
Jakes with a shot, and Chobak gets the pads on that one. It's going to trickle all the way back, and Thiele will come to the top of the circles. And
Thiele only faced 2 shots in that second period and made 1 save. Shows you how dominant the Buckeyes were in that middle period.
And it goes back to Webster with her teammates from field hockey supporting her. We saw some field hockey athletes and some softball athletes here supporting the women's ice hockey team this afternoon, which is great to see. Athletes supporting athletes. And it goes all the way back again. But it's not going to be an icing into the Buckeye zone as Emma Peschel is going to have that one, the Adina, Minnesota native, playing in her 4th career game as a freshman. So it's going to be Green for SCSU. Will just slide off her stick, go back into the defensive zone. For the Buckeyes, they'll get tagged up, whistled down, and go back to the offensive side for the Buckeyes after an icing call.
They always like to see the other athletes come out and watch the other team's games played. It is quite a community they have here. The slogan says, the people, the tradition, the excellence, and that's what Woody Hayes always emphasized about winning with people, and that's a big part of it.
And another great team supporting other teams are the Columbus Blue Jackets with this women's ice hockey team, supporting them last season and teaming up for a great event after this game. The Blue Jackets and the women's ice hockey team doing a learn-to-play event after this one with 50 girls playing this game for the very first time after this game. They're here this afternoon to watch and then lace up their skates for the first time ever after the final buzzer hits here this afternoon in this game.
And that's one of the great things about that clinic. It's for first-time players only, a chance to introduce new people to the game and, as this expression goes these days, grow the game. You mentioned the softball team. Cammie Quartercracks, their shortstop. I hope you're out there someplace. I haven't seen you for a couple of months.
Was able to touch base with her last week in one of my classes as play continues here.
I asked her to follow me on Twitter. She hasn't done it yet. Maybe you can convince her next time you see her, Z.
As right now, Dale Ross is going to have the puck there as Bernard with a shot just going wide. Slevis backhand passing that one. It's behind the net. Looking for Bernard and a beautiful 3D chance, but JoJo Chobak catches that one. Goes right into the Husky logo. They'll get slowed down here.
Great chance again for Laura Bernard on the Madison, Ohio. Clear shot right in the circle, but she put it right into the crest of JoJo Chobak's sweater. And then a little more of a tangle there with Maltese and Himlarova got together in front of the St. Cloud State goal.
It's the Buckeyes with an offensive zone draw here. Gabby Rosenthal is going to take it.
Ohio State dominant in faceoffs, 29-12.
One of the reasons is, of course, Gabby Rosenthal was at the top of the league in that last season. Cornelius shot just a little right, and that one going back into the neutral zone as SCSU looking to get a little bit of offense here. Cornelius having it yet again, pushes it in off to Thiele's stick behind the net. She's able to play that without a trapezoid here in NCAA hockey. It's Gardner. Now off to Rosenthal. Rosenthal to Buglioni. Buglioni stops and starts. Off to Rosenthal now. Rosenthal collides with a few defenders there. She is down. She comes up slowly. The referee making sure she's okay as she picks up her stick and rushes back. As Moreau fires that one. Rosenthal back to the bench for the Buckeyes. It's off to Geyer. Geyer getting pressure from Lundeen. Back to Matthews. Back to Lundin. Matthews having it now. Shot! And looking for the Lundin tap in. And it doesn't go. Sophie Jakes stepping up now. Something she does often. And here comes SCSU the other way. It's Vogt. Looking for her first goal in her career as the freshman. Coming from Cologne, Germany. And here comes Ohio State. It's Brooke Bing. Matthews tags up, comes in to the blue line, and that shot is caught by JoJo Chobak.
A good idea by Chobak to get the stoppage there. Pace is starting to pick up a little bit more. We're starting to see Ohio State, again, use that superior speed and quickness again. They didn't use the first few minutes of this period, trying to speed this game up, spread things out, and make the St. Cloud State Huskies chase them down.
Malte's going to take the faceoff now. Wins it for the Buckeyes. Some passing here for Ohio State. Their offensive zone looking for someone there, but it gets intercepted by Millwater for SCSU. And now it's off to Webster. Webster, the 5'3 junior, and the play's going to get called for a penalty. And it looks like Webster is going to head to the box.
Myers.
And it's going to be actually the SCSU penalty here as it looked Webster.
Avery Myers called for interference.
Webster looked like she thought for a second it may have been a penalty as she was walking, but it will be on the other side, so the Buckeyes will be on the power play. Getting 2 goals on the power play this weekend, both from Sophie Jakes. Rosenthal wins the faceoff for the Buckeyes. Off to Bizzall. Bizzall waits for it to Levis. Jakes with a shot and a score! Power play heaven for the Buckeyes. And Sophie Jakes gets her 3rd power play goal and her 3rd goal of the season.
Well,
it's 6-1.
The St. Cloud State defense got caught in a small box right in front of Chobak, and nobody was over there on the back post where Jakes was waiting for. Look how much space she has there. And an easy finish. No chance for Chobak to go post to post to make the save. But a great setup, a great awareness by Jakes to find the open ice and realize there was no defender on that side.
And when it comes to Sophie Jakes, she gets those goals all the time on the power play. And other teams, they watch video getting ready for these games. They know Sophie Jakes is there, but they still cannot cover her and stop her from getting these power play goals. And
you
she
could
gets
use
her
that
3rd of the
same
weekend.
you can use that same statement replacing Sophie Jakes with Alex Ovechkin. It's the exact same play.
Sophie Jakes, an unbelievable bullet there. And the Buckeyes are now up 6-1 here at OSU Ice Rink. The Buckeyes' 2nd game, a homecoming weekend for them since they won the national championship. They dropped that banner tonight. This afternoon, they got their WCHA rings, and for the players returning as graduates, and Sheppers, Templeman, and Curlett, they got their championship rings for the NCAA as well.
Jake's the first player tonight for the Buckeyes to score multiple goals. But great composure by her to get that shot on the stick, puck on the tape, and find the right spot to put it in. How many times you see a puck like that bounce or a player miss the net? Too many.
And for that Jake's goal, it was assisted by Levis and Bizzall. And for Peyton Levis, a 4-point afternoon. One goal, 3 assists.
She's assisted on the last 3 Buckeyes goals. And Madison Bizzall is assisted on the last 2.
For Levis, continuing off a great Frozen Four tournament, being named the player and MVP of that tournament. Someone who knows something about that as well as McKenna Webster. She got that accolade as a freshman at Wisconsin when she won the national championship there. As Hartmutz will now hold it for the Buckeyes behind the net, off to Bernard.
Magic's had a lot of success up there in Madison with that women's team. Magic, of course, being Mark Johnson, their legendary coach and a member of the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team.
Buckeyes will have to wait until they can play them, not here in October. We have a few games coming up here. Next games will be as Hartman's coming in, looking for an opportunity, but the Buckeyes, as I was saying, their next home games will be a rematch of the NCAA National Championship as in 2 weeks' time, Minnesota Duluth will travel to Columbus. And it's going to be now Moreau getting one goal, her first collegiate goal in this game. Who had it and got it to Webster. Webster chips that one in. Del Ross will look for it, but will go off to Geyer. Rosenthal with some pressure there as well. Rosenthal still waiting for it and trying to fight for it. Parent and Webster's on the ice there as Parent's in that far corner. And play continuing here as they are fighting for it. The official not calling it yet, as it is still stymied in that corner. Play finally comes out. The Buckeyes have possession after that one. Goes off to Webster, to Rosenthal. Rosenthal moves with it. Slides it off to Parent. Parent now to Moreau. Moreau tried to get it off to Parent. Banks it to Webster. And Keegan Grant gets a stick on that one. Webster waits for it behind the net. Looks for options. Continuing. As it goes back to Moreau. Moreau now on the faceoff dot. Moreau backhands that one, hit right off of Choback. And 7:13 now left in regulation here. The Buckeyes up 6-1. Brooke Bink plays with it right on the near side boards as it goes back to Sloan Matthews. Matthews trying to put it on the blue paint. And some more things are thrown here, pushing and shoving as the tempers flare yet again in this game. We can just see the frustration here for SDSU, but also protecting their goaltender, Keith.
Now, Emma Gentry and Sloan Matthews got into it. We'll see if we can get another look. Looks like they might have even taken a swing at one. So there's Gentry 22 and 20 and Matthews 22, the main instigators there. No punches thrown there, but they will get coincidental minors.
So we're going to have more 4-on-4 play action here. And it was Gentry going into the box for SDSU. And it's going to be Sloan Matthews for Ohio State.
And I mentioned the second period we had the 4-on-4. This could work to St. Cloud State's advantage because they play on the 200 sheet up at the Herb Brooks Memorial Center. But now this could work for the Buckeyes as these Huskies are obviously a very tired team here in this third period.
As Ohio State, Choback was able to find that one as the puck was bouncing all over the ice. She's able to track that one here on this 4-on-4 play here. The reigning national champions 6-1 over St. Cloud State right now.
Yeah, she almost got wrong skated. The puck was moving to her right. She moved that way and all of a sudden took a funny bounce to her left, but she was able to scoop it up with the glove.
As play continues. The face-off in the Buckeyes offensive zone. It goes into the neutral zone, and Madison Bizzall, the fifth-year graduate student, will hold that one. Bizzall, Elk River, Minnesota native, 5'4" grad student. Gets off to her partner Jakes, but it gets intercepted, and Vogt was able to get a little bit of tape on that one. As Jakes has possession of it now, tries to reach to Bizzall. It doesn't go, so now it's in the neutral zone for Emma Malte. Malte waits for it, leans forward. As she gets put down. Slow to get up, but able to get up, and it goes into the netting here with 6 minutes left here at OSU Ice Rink. The Buckeyes up 6-1. Zachary Rodier alongside Keith Kakinda and our great Big Ten Plus crew, Holly Wintering, Olivia Norsullivan, Aaron Van Bibber, and of course Katie Popovich, a great crew here this afternoon on Big Ten Plus.
Also make sure to thank the executive producers, I like to call them, Marco Fragale. Thanks to all of you who make us look and sound terrific and for the great pictures we get.
So just 6 minutes left here. It's WCHA hockey here on Big Ten Plus. Buckeyes up 6-1 on their banner drop day.
Huskies still without a shot here in this third period. They've only had 2 since the end of the first.
They'll get whistled down. And some applause there for SCSU. And it looks like Buglioni is going to go to the penalty box for roughing.
So now a 4-on-3 here for the next 58 seconds.
The Buckeyes are going to have to defend in their defensive zone. It's going to be Rosenthal, their face-off person here for them. is going to take the draw. And then they have Bizzle and Jakes, their top two defenders for the Buckeyes.
And they have Taylor Lind and Yanina Newland teamed with Bailey Burton, who's normally on the second line.
It's now off to Lynn. Lynn waiting for it. Looks for a shot. Gets it off to Newland. Newland weaves. Jakes finds it. And is going to try and get this one out of the zone. She clears it all the way. Jakes and Bizzle being one of the most dominant pairs in the country last season, combining for 86 points and helped the Buckeyes to a 92.1 penalty kill last season.
And they're using Lind on the off wing. She's a left-hand shot, but bringing over here onto the right side in the face-off circle.
It'll be Sloan Matthews that comes back onto the ice for the Buckeyes from this 4-on-4. The incidental minors came off. And then the Buckeyes will still be on the penalty kill against SCSU. Lind has it now, looking, and a score! It's Newland, Yanina Newland. The Finland native makes it 6-2 for SCSU.
But a fantastic pass from Taylor Lind, the native of Shoshanoa in Saskatchewan. Watch it again, finding Newland on that back post. There's Newland coming in from the right side. And look at the vision of Lind to find her on the back post, and all Newland has to do is redirect it into the net.
And a very difficult task for the Buckeyes, a 4-on-3, a lot of open ice. And you could just see SCSU had 4 players just stationed exactly where they wanted it to be. And that goal is going to come in. And for SCSU, trying to help them to, of course, what they want to end a great weekend on, as they are going to go back home next weekend and play Wisconsin. So right now that goal is Yanina Newland, assisted by Taylor Lind and Dale Ross. Webster having it now for the Buckeyes.
Lind has an assist in both games here this weekend for the Huskies.
We'll go off to Hartmutz. Hartmutz to Buglioni. Buglioni now gets it off to Rosenthal. Rosenthal back to Buglioni, who Webster on the ice with them as well, which is something Buckeye fans want to see, a Webster, Buglioni, and Rosenthal line. They're going to get a quick look at it now. The puck will go all the way back for an icing. Buglioni going for a change. So will Webster. The play's going to go all the way back to the Buckeyes' offensive zone, and SCSU unable to change. 4:18 left in this third and final period.
That was the first shot on goal for St. Cloud State since the last minute of the first period.
Peschel fires it through. It's loose, and Chobak Pope checks it out. And Malte back to Peyton Levis as Himlerova now having it for SCSU. As back to Vogt.
The Huskies have actually scored on 2 of their last 3 shots.
And Levis tried to get it there from Bregman. That goes all the way back. And Peschel's going to have to touch up there. The puck won't go all the way back down for an icing. So Malte having it now. Emma Malte. And a shot goes by Levis. She's looking for her 5th point of the afternoon.
The way Levis shot that, it almost looks like she was trying to pass to somebody at the back post. She kind of swept it along and kept the puck flat on the ice.
It's Ohio State now up 6-2 in this game. Peyton Levis scored 4 goals versus SCSU February 25th to tie the program record for most goals in a game. So for Levis, has a lot of success against these Huskies. 6-2 now, 3:25 and ticking. This third period here on Big Ten Plus. Zachary Rodier and Keith Kikinda. Race for the puck now. Smillwater and Brooke Bink and the Buckeyes having it. Go off to Lundin. Lundin, Swedish forward, gets it off to Moreau. Freshman to freshman there. Moreau waits for her options, fires that one through. And it just goes off some bodies there in front of JoJo Chobak.
I think it hit Chobak's right pad. It sure sounded like it.
As Lundin.
But I don't think she knew much about it until it hit her.
Dean will go off for a change as Brooke Bink going against no water there as she was able to get a block on that one. Rosenthal fires it, gets broken up, goes back to Jakes, Jakes to Parent. That'll be the fourth line here for the Buckeyes of Webster and Parent, with Rosenthal stepping in as the center. As that one's going to go high up into the neutral zone as Madison Bizzle has possession of it now. Rosenthal off to Webster. Able to get it back to Ramsey Parent. That one just going out into the benches, and play and whistle down now here with 2:05 left in regulation.
Well, certainly the Buckeyes have proved why they are the consensus #1 team in the country tonight and this weekend for that matter. Again, this is a good St. Cloud State team that will get better as the season goes on, as Brian Idalski imposes his imprint on this program in his first season.
So right now, McKenna Webster will look for it, and looked like the net was out of play there, so get whistled down as Chobak stepped up. So the net will have to get fixed. Just under 2 minutes here as the officials take a look at the net here. So offensive face-off draw for the Buckeyes. Just one shot shy of 40. And there it is as Sophie Jakes fires in the 40th shot of this game. For Sophie Jakes, 2 goals in a row in this game. The 5th and 6th one, both of them being power play goals. She has 3 power play goals this weekend, making up her 3 goals of the season.
Ohio State now leading in face-off 36-17.
So another draw here for the Buckeyes. They have Ramsey Parent on the left, Webster to the right, and it's going to get whistled down yet again. It looks like we're going to possibly get a penalty here, and we will, as it's going to be SCSU for roughing. And that's Klara Himlarova, the Czech Republic native, 5'4" senior. But it also looks like Gabby Rosenthal will head to the box. So the third time this afternoon we'll get 4-on-4 action for roughing incidental minors.
And we'll stay that way for the balance of this game since it's only 1:50 left.
So Himlarova and Rosenthal, the 2 second-line centers, will sit in the box. It's 4-on-4 action. Emma Malte taking the face-off for the Buckeyes. She loses the draw as SCSU gets it. Lundin off to Lind.
Among the skaters, only Bizzle, Parent, Grant, Peschel, and Webster are without shots today for Ohio State.
She's looking for it to Malte. She almost had her first goal, but it went high off some deflections. Bizzle now back to Peyton Levis. Levis waits. Off to Malte. Malte looking to pass. To Bizzle to Jakes. Jakes with a shot. Looking for the Levis redirect. Doesn't get it.
Dale Ross did well to tie her up there in front of the net out of Spirit River, Alberta.
Back to Levis. Levis firing that one through Chobak. And just 1 minute left as Newland now has it for SCSU. St. Cloud State Huskies all alone. And a shot off to Thiele. That was Taylor Lynn. And Thiele stands tall. That one going wide now off to the near corner. It's Millwater.
Lynn just skated straight in and took the shot. Didn't try to deke her at all. A little surprising.
She was all alone there as Jeeks now has it for the Buckeyes. 36 seconds left. And the Buckeyes home opening weekend. Gardner was almost all alone, but Chobak makes the smart decision to come up and play the puck. As SCSU, it's going to be Gentry putting that one. With 19 seconds left now. The #1 team in the nation, the Ohio State Buckeyes, reigning national champions, racing and dropping their banner this afternoon. As Hartman's coming alone. Gardner with the rebound. And my goodness, just missing 2 seconds now. The Buckeyes, after the banner drop today, get the win and sweep the St. Cloud State Huskies. The Buckeyes will play Bemidji State on the road next week. SESU will play Wisconsin. A final score in this game, 6-2 for the Ohio State Buckeyes over St. Cloud State. Shots-wise, 43-14. Goals today coming from Peyton Levis, Gabby Rosenthal making it 2-0 for the Buckeyes. Then Emma Gentry making it 2-1 for SESU. Then Sloan Matthews getting